guys.
What it do, y'all? What's up?
It's Ifeanyi.
It's Amaka here.
Welcome to
the Diasporas Corner.
So today we're going to talk to you about, growing up in a Nigerian household here in the U.S.
And also going to school as an African period back in the days, those days.
Exactly. So as you know, me and Amaka are both of Nigerian descent, and, growing up with African parents could be very, stressful because of how strict they are and how, not open-minded they are. So today we're going to tell you about some of the things we dealt with.
Yeah, to piggyback on that, it's kind of crazy just how their way of thinking is it's like their way or the highway. It's like
honestly,
you're never right at all. Even though you're right, you're always wrong.
You're wrong.
You're dead wrong to be exact.
Right.
But yeah, it was just a different thing. I'm not gonna hold you. Growing up and actually going through all that, it really showed me why they did all that. Their values was always set to a different standard, and their values was always set high for themselves. So it's they wanted that to be instilled in us. So that's why they would do things to us we wouldn't understand. They'd probably kirk on us, talk to us anyhow. You would never see that with
American parents
or Caucasian parents. They would never act like that.
I mean,
no. Some.
Yeah, let's say some.
That's the key word. Some. But if you're African and your parents are really by the book African,
you know how
it is. You definitely can relate.
You know how it is. For example, I would say they expect you to be, three things: doctor, lawyer, engineer.
Always.
If you're not one of those three, they don't care. They don't care.
And that kind of blew me because growing up, I'm not a science person. He is.
Yeah,
I'm a business-minded guy. That's me. I've always been like that. It runs in my family. My mom's a nurse actually, so she does that science thing. And my little sister too. She's doing nursing. So science kind of runs in the family. But we're a business-minded family for real. But yeah, so honestly, with being African, you have to grow up a little bit, in order to have a say, because you really weren't supposed to talk back at all. At all. You weren't really supposed to say anything to them. When they tell you something, is that.
You have to
strictly
do it.
You have to do it. You have to abide by that. I know some people even till now, they're going to college and their parents already threatened they would not pay for their school fees unless they do what they say they want them to do. And I know actually a couple people that's actually going through that. It's just crazy, but it happens.
But another thing I would say, I feel like I'm not gonna say it's harder for females, but I feel like there's more pressure on them to, follow their rules or grow up a certain way because they're females.
Exactly.
As compared to us as males, we kind of, I wouldn't say we have a say in what we can do. We still have to listen to them, even if they say it's their way or their highway, but we can kind of do things our own way and get away with it compared to females.
Yeah, say if you wanted to go out late, guys will normally not get in trouble for going out late. If the girl does, it's all hell breaking loose.
It's over.
All hell breaking loose. My sister went through it, my cousins, all of them, and it's kind of crazy. I don't really agree with that. I'd rather everyone be treated equally.
Exactly.
But the way women are valued kinda in Africa is really, really high. So that's why they expect so much from them.
Exactly.
They want them to be perfect, even though nobody's perfect. But that's just how they want them to be. And women are the stronghold, the rock,
of
the foundation,
the family, yeah.
foundation. So they're always expected to to know the answers, to do this, or to be the one to think and be the one to what's the word?
To carry the load,
exactly.
Basically. So.
Always. And it's I feel like that's a good position, but at the same time, not everyone should be taking
everything,
all that exactly
yeah.
all that weight on them. It's really not fair, but
exactly.
That's just how it is. But hopefully with this generation, we're gonna break that barrier, and everyone's treated equally, But a woman's gonna be a woman and a man's gonna be a man.
Exactly.
Hopefully that's gonna be the case for this generation. This generation is scaring me, to be honest with you guys. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Honestly, but I feel our parents still have that mindset of they're living back home. I understand that's how they grew up, but now that we're here in America, they have to adjust or make changes to their viewpoint to be able to accommodate us, because we didn't grow up the same way that they did, and it's not the same environment how it was back then, where the guys are always working and the women are staying at home. We have to have a balance now, because
it's just how it is and just how this country is operated, because the guy can be working for the government. 100,000 cannot support the whole family without one person, only one person working. It doesn't work like that. You know, it has to be balanced. Like, so the woman has to find a craft. Me personally, I want my woman to do her thing. You know, I want her to make her bag. Exactly.
Get
so we
her
can add to
bag.
our fortune. Come on, bro. There's people out here, Beyonce and Jay, for example.
Exactly.
I don't really look up to them, but like that's a perfect example. You know what I mean? But like I was about to piggyback off what you said. So basically, you were talking about how no, what was the thing that you were just talking about?
About like their mindset back home.
Yeah, so basically, a lot of our parents in this generation came to America, like, or wherever you're from, like whatever foreign country you're from, in the 70s or 80s.
Right.
So at that point, like they really feel like they've seen everything. So they want to be able to still tell you, like, oh, I still seen the four walls of school before. That's what my mom used to tell me. I'm like, bro, I know you probably seen school before, but like, sweetheart, this is different now.
Right.
Society has changed.
Exactly.
Mindsets have changed. Technology has enforced its way into everyone's lives. So like everything's different now. So like it's not going to be the same exact way it was when you first got here. Right. It's not, and that's what my dad is starting to understand. My dad came here in '84, so like he came here at like 22, 23.
My dad came here at 22 exactly.
He was.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Our dads went to school together.
Yeah, our dads went to school together, so you know we're family for real.
Right.
So yeah, so when he came here, he's seen everything. He's seen how everything was operated differently, and he had to get his to survive.
Right.
Like, you know, he had to work 3 jobs.
3 jobs.
3 jobs to go to school and pay for it. And he doesn't own no loans, nothing.
No loans.
But it's kind of crazy that he had to go through that. He didn't really have no social life. But, you know, when he had the chance to go out, he would pop out here and there, you know.
So like, do guy
here. But it's kind of crazy, though, like, you know, that they had to, like, really go through what they go through for us to have the type of life that we... That's why, like, as a preacher, that's why I will always love being African, you know. But, like, growing up, like, being African wasn't the best thing, though. Like, especially, like, elementary school. It was kind of a tough experience for me, you know. My name is Emeka, you know, but I used to go by Edwin. That's my first name. My dad's name is Edwin. So they would see our names on the overhead when they call attention, and they would see my middle name. My middle name is literally like 11 letters. It's Chukwu Emeka, by the way.
Butcher your name.
Butchering. They're laughing. Oh my God, you live in huts. Like they will find all the commercials. They will find all the commercials with all the struggling Africans and use it against us. And it's like, bro, like. I went to Nigeria a couple of times in elementary school, and I'm going back, and I'm like, bro, where the hell are the huts?
Right.
I don't see none of them joints.
They don't exist.
I don't. But in some countries, like Uganda, you see huts and all those like low, like
like the poor area.
The poor countries, like those poor countries, you see some of those. But every country does have those bright sides, so don't be fooled.
Right.
But Nigeria, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm biased, but I'm not biased. Nigeria is ruining all the countries in Africa.
Exactly.
No cap. Number one. So like when I went to see all the bright sides and all the infrastructure, like, it's crazy. And in some parts of Nigeria looks better than here.
Right, that's true.
It really does. And it's kind of crazy, though, like, that we are really going through all that backlash. Right. African Booty Scratcher was my #1 nickname back then. And, you know, all I can do is be hurt. Because I was not going to hold you. I'm not a fighter, so I wasn't going to fight anybody. They can talk all they want to.
Right.
All I can do is walk away. I didn't really have time for that. Because if I get in trouble, it's over at home.
Back to Nigeria.
So me picking a fight with you or getting my sanity at home, I'd rather choose being cool at home with no problems than trying to prove that I'm a tough guy.
Right.
I didn't really like partake in all that, so they can say whatever they want. But like, I'm not gonna lie, it hurt.
Right.
Just for the fact, like, at a point, I did want to be American. I was like, bro, why is my name like this, bro?
You like,
why am I African, bro? Right. Why is everyone butchering my name? That's not my name.
Exactly.
Like my last name is 7 letters. I think it's very, very, very easy to pronounce. But I've heard all types of things in the book, and it's kind of crazy. I honestly couldn't explain that to you, why they would choose that.
I don't know.
Choose to even say it how they say it, but they just do. I just feel like they were being lazy to even try to pronounce it.
They just didn't care at that point.
I just feel like that. But
on the bright side of like growing up in an African American household, I think that it really allowed us to like mature quicker than we had to.
Oh, for sure.
It allowed us to like grow tough skin, even though, you know, it's not saying like you can't be sensitive, but you're more like easier able to adapt to like someone saying something bad to you and you not like reacting like that off of what they said. And also just being independent and trying to like make a way for yourself so that you don't have to like always depend on your parents or go to your parents, because whenever you would have to ask them for something, it would always be a struggle. Honestly,
biggest struggle.
It would be a struggle.
And another, you know, positive light, you know, is us seeing what the world has to offer, because not a lot of people get to travel. You know, but, you know, us being from Africa, we were granted the opportunity to get on the plane and go to a different country, or have another place we can call home. Exactly. So that's always a a plus. And the plus, I went to school in Nigeria back in 2009, 2010, so I stayed there for a year, and it was one of the most life-changing experiences ever. Like, I just got to see how, like, people got out the mud and how people, like, really have to work for theirs. Like, I'm gonna give you a little statistic. So basically, Nigerian currency is at its, like, lowest point now. So, like, a dollar here is 362 of our currency, which is called naira.
Yeah.
So the average worker in Nigeria makes 10,000 naira a month, and 10,000 naira here is $42. Can you fucking imagine? $42.
Can you survive off that?
I don't think you guys can survive off that. Because when I was seeing all that, and I was partaking to it. Like my mom's side, that's who I was living with. They were well off. My uncle was a banker, and his wife was a doctor, but they still lived in the slums. They had a nice house, but lived in the slums. So I'll go out, run errands, and I'm over here. I have to adapt fast, because like if they found that I'm American, it's game over. So I had to put on my accent. I had to learn how to speak broken English, pidgin for you guys.
Pidgin English, yeah.
It's just a different culture change. Like, you know, just seeing my people get out the mud and how they like have to work for everything. It just told me that when I come back here, I got to go all out. So like school was a breeze for me when I got back here. Education back there was way harder because they base it off the British curriculum. So you know, school in London is already tougher than school here.
Exactly.
All bucks. So it was like I had to like really get sharper. You know, learn how to study, learn how to do all that. I came back here and I was dominating high school. Didn't have bad grades at all in high school. I don't think I had a C in high school. I know a lot of you guys.
And then if you really want to like go deeper into statistics, the Nigerian Americans here are like very like successful academically.
It's crazy.
And I think that in terms of like grad school, like we might be like number one in terms of like, I'm saying like Africans in general. Let me not just say Nigerians, but Africans in general really like dominate the grad school aspect, and we're doing really well successfully because of how smart we are and how much work
we're not boasting. We're just telling the truth.
We're just telling the truth. If you don't believe us, look it up.
Look it up.
Look
and
it up.
70% of black doctors are actually Nigerian in this country. So, sorry guys.
Sorry, we're not trying to brag.
We're not trying to brag. We're just proud of our people. I'm not gonna hold you. You know, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, wherever you're from.
Exactly.
You know, keep doing your thing.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, it's different being African. You know, you're always gonna be always looked down upon just for the fact that a lot of people are scared of us nowadays. You know, just for the fact that we're really excelling and we're trying. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not going to take away from Black Americans and
other races.
But Africans did have it the worst. And Hispanics, they had their struggles, and they're still going through it with this dumbass president we have.
Right.
But all we can do is move as a people, though, for real.
Right. And then we need to have like more conversations like this, and like I guess sit down with our parents, and like I think that's the best thing to do. Like if you're having like difficulties growing up in an African household, I know it might be difficult to talk to your parents because they'll like go against everything you say, but just sit down and try to understand where they're coming from and like voice your opinion and try to like find that compromise, or just be smart. That's all I'm gonna say. Be smart.
And another reason is like you can also talk to your parents about what they went through growing up, because a lot of these people won't do what's not done to them to you.
Right.
Simple. That's just basically how life works. I'm not going to say that it doesn't happen. It does happen. Some people will just max it and do whatever was not done to them to you just because they feel like they're entitled to and they think they can now. But like talking to my parents, like I learned about how they grew up and all that. Like I used to get punished, like
smacked,
getting beat the hell up. And I was asking my dad, like, this is what he's talking about. My dad didn't even live with his parents for like a couple years. He lived with a teacher who was punishing him. He only ate one meal every day. Crazy, huh? So like all the stuff he's been teaching me, like I was going through, it kind of shaped me. Like I don't partake in I don't like getting in trouble personally. Yeah. I just don't. I'd rather just avoid trouble. My conscience is too deep for me to even do anything. Mm-hmm. Like I just learned that, and like that's how a household. Some people like are taught the same thing, but like I feel like Africans like really enforce it. They really enforce it, or most, because I've seen a lot of Americanized, or like people that stay away from the culture, don't want to learn nothing about their culture. Right. And I really don't agree with that, because like at the end of the day, this country is not for us. Mm-hmm. Even the black people, Hispanic people, this country was not meant for us. Right. And it's proven for all these racist people in office and running this country, like exactly white supremacists, like they don't want us here. So like why do we always have to go against one another? We're not from here. Why do we always focus on putting all our energy and making this country better when we haven't even like dig into see what like where we're from, like our roots, and like try to make our country better. Me personally, like I would want to make my community better here, but I'd rather like develop my country first, like help them develop, because they have a lot of work to do. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna sit here and make it seem like Nigeria is fine and dandy and perfect.
Right.
No,
I mean, no other African country is really perfect. Honestly.
We have a lot of work to do, and I really want to help back home and help my community back home before I even start here.
Right.
You know, I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Right.
It's just a lot, you know, a lot for us to do, a lot of work to be done. You know, even here, you know. Eventually, I do want to start some stuff here and do some stuff here, but like my primary focus is to go back to where I was, my family's originated, and just get everything rocking and rolling, man. You know, that country definitely deserves the best, man. Right. After all the resources, everything that we have over there, man, you know, and poverty's, it's really high over there. It's crazy. It's depressing. And it's depressing that I'm here and I'm kind of living a way better life than they are, and they're suffering and people are getting killed and all that. It's just too much. It really is really sad and it hurts. But you know, all we can do is just come together, you know, and do our thing, man. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. We can't really control everything, but the things that we can't control, let's take advantage of it and do it.
Let's do it. But yeah, guys, if you have any like questions or comments,
talk about, you know, your opinions on, you know, your growing up, your viewpoint of certain things. You know, we're open and we're gonna answer questions and stuff like that. You know, also you can talk about certain topics you want to talk about or you want to hear us talk about. You know, just drop it in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and share to your friends.
Share with your friends.
But yeah, like we said in the beginning, we are the Diasporas Corner.
You know. So thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in, man.
Watch this. Go. Yeah. Go. Another man food is another man poison. Go. Monkey no fine, but in my mind like that. Go. Yeah. Show you one down, calculate my money. Go. You want to dance, or you want to shake.